F1 World Championship race.
Hello.
Definition. There we go. That's it. There we go. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, after a full winter's wait and some extra minutes for audio difficulties, PowerF1 is back for Season 6. We are back once again to find who is the fastest driver in at least our Discord server. We're not going to say the world, we're not that disingenuous. But I am Lars, back with you at least for this first week, and alongside me in the commentary booth is George, new owner of the league effectively now, I believe, isn't it, officially?
Yeah, it's been for a while now. Just been away for a couple of months did you work, so yeah, officially I've been the owner for like 3 months. So yeah, it's exciting to host this new project. Let's hope everything goes well. Full grid, almost full grid. Someone didn't show up, didn't have time to pull up the reserve because it is what it is.
Indeed. Speaking of things working smoothly, can you double check the stream just in case?
Yeah, already did.
We're coming through loud and clear. Good stuff.
Yes.
Well, in that case then, some drivers are setting times on the board already. We'll go over those momentarily. We do have enough drivers for a full quali session here in Pro Series. So since we're going to be saying goodbye to 4 of them, come the end of these remaining 14 minutes, we'll go through our list. So, just setting the fastest time on the board there, we have Gamma B, an old favourite, or infamous among many drivers, depending on your point of view, but always a quick driver, always a pleasure to watch. Holiest Tester, new for this season I believe, but already showing promise there. He's a second off Gamma B at the minute, but it was his first lap. We also have Ozzy, back from last year as well. Mike, now he is the definition of infamous. Casito just hopped up the board there on the medium tyres. Find himself a bit of a fish out of water in Pro last year, but we'll see how he's adapted, and hopefully he can pick up the pace this year as well. We then have Tixie, our reigning world champion, I believe.
Yes.
Yep, TC Gaming, our resident American in the Williams. James Taylor, another new boy, Ultra 8227.
James is not a new boy.
Say again, sorry?
James is new. Ultra is.
No, that's what I said. Ultra's the new boy. I said Ultra. JTK in the Haas, Rocco in the Red Bull, Percy Geely in the Mercedes, Jan in the other McLaren, Shad Howe, because that's the way he spelt the name, in the Alpha Tauri. Next phase in the Alfa Romeo. Magnetic back again in the Haas. Rickety, our resident ever-present McLaren driver, has finally jumped ship and has gone to Red Bull. I've already mentioned, and we have another Aussie. We have 2 Aussies. Somehow. Care to explain that one?
I don't know what to say.
We somehow have 2 Aussies spelled the exact same way. And because he jumped up the leaderboard to on a 1:24, we missed him there. We also have Duncan 27, 27, 27 in the other Alpha Tauri. 19 drivers on the grid. We did have 20. We were hoping to have 20, but we couldn't get a hold of another reserve, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was a bit too late since we didn't see the other guy not showing up.
But from what I've been told, time trials are pretty close.
Yeah,
which is
seem pretty close. Yeah, but I don't think that's a huge factor of seeing what kind of pace its driver has. We should wait and see.
I was going to say we had some close drivers last year actually, and then the field sort of spread apart. But a few confident ones out there. We've got both Williams who have done laps on the mediums to start with.
Maybe they think they have the good pace so that they can get into Q2 with those mediums. If they are able to do that, they should be. Galabi is improving on his second sector, so his time should come down with those old softs too. So let's see what Galabi can bring to the table. Then we have a lot of quick drivers, like Dixie as the reigning world champion, and also James and Percy Galley, Rickety also. Some of the highlighted drivers, especially the 2 Mercs.
There is Gamma into the 111s. I don't think those medium times are going to be enough for the Williams to get through safely.
Yeah, and as I was saying, the 2 Mercedes probably looking back to another constructors win and probably winning that drivers championship that they missed out on the final race. That was a very exciting race last season with Dixie pulling it off. It was a 3-way fight for the championship, and Dixie managed to pull it as much as it.
Shadow apologizing for his name, by the way. Don't be apologizing. I'm just saying how you spelt it. He said I was 10, but I mean, credit for sticking with the name. The name I want to sort out is the 2 Aussies. I don't know why we have 2 Aussies, one in the Aston and one in the Alfa Romeo.
I always see one.
Also, apology. Well, do you know what? Actually, no apologies for the sound mod that I have on. I am still running the V8 mod.
Oh, the V8.
I forgot to remove it, but it's a nice sound as Mike goes to the top of the timesheets.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what Mike can do this year, because let's not make any bones about it. He's very much been the Maldonado of the league. And by that I mean he's got great pace and he's a fine racer, but as soon as he gets within 10 feet of another car, he becomes a cruise missile. He has earned the ire of a lot of drivers on the grid. Let's not pull any punches here. And whilst everyone agrees he's quick, they are not thrilled with his racecraft. So hopefully he's improved upon that, because he is quick, he is capable of winning races easily, in fact. But he often finds himself getting into trouble more often than not. Not that he's the only one, but it's certainly more noticeable with him.
We have a couple of names that are keen to find themselves. Oh, I was talking about Mike. He almost lost it into the
I think he's on
sector.
Oh, he's nearly lost it again. He's gone a very low downforce. Did he run wide there? No, apparently not.
He lost it and went wide, yeah. So he would be coming into the pits right now.
It didn't say he invalidated, so...
Yeah, he didn't go off track. He went wide. He kept it on track. I think
we got the Red Bull.
He didn't lose time.
That was Rocco going up to 3rd. Sorry, hold on 2 seconds. That's Rocco going up to 3rd. That's the McLaren of... That is Jan doing his 2nd run. We also have... Is that Magnetic coming round? He's coming back. No, he is starting another lap. Sorry, we're just trying to wait until we get everyone's times on the board here once everything settles down.
We have a lot of people without times. Like Dixie.
That's Shadow coming to the line as he's starting his run. That'll be... That should be... Tixie. He's starting a lap.
Their laps right now. Yeah, everyone behind except Ultra is about to end his lap. He's coming
Ultra?
up to the last corner. Yep. Right now
in the Alpine.
Let's see what he can do. A decent time would be
he took it in 2nd through there, which is surprising. P6 for the Alpine.
112.724. That's gonna be Is this gonna be enough for the Q2? I don't know. Let's see.
Well, we haven't
Because
even
there's a
got.
lot of people.
We've only just
Exactly,
got
half of
enough
them.
drivers on the board to make a Q2 worthwhile at the minute, so we're still waiting on a few people.
Okay.
But let's have a quick look through the field just while they're setting those lap times initially. So we've already spoken about Mike, very quick, but maybe not the cleanest in the field, and hopefully he's improved upon that. Gamma B, another controversial figure. Let's be honest, be it for his, brave moves on track and in the Discord.
Oh yeah.
He tries to come across as a guy who doesn't give a damn, but it often rubs some drivers the wrong way. But he's likable in his own wee way.
He's
Rocco,
a likable capybara.
Rocco and Rickety, very much a pairing. They were in.
Yeah, and Dixie comes in with a 1:11.5, 3/10 quicker than Mike. That's
Indeed, he does.
Very nice time. Yeah.
Rickety and Rocco, very much a pairing. They stayed in McLaren together. They've jumped ship to Red Bull together. Very hard to actually find anything disagreeable with those two.
Yeah, I mean they're both great people and great drivers. Great things we should expect from those two, as they're not looking very good on the first lap. They did with both sitting on P6 and P5 and P6, and Roy jumped into P2 with a 1:11.8.
We were gonna.
So we see a lot of people around the 1:11.8. Like if you see the top from 2 to 6, they're all in the 1:11s. From first to sixth, all in around the 1:11s. And we still have two quick drivers without a time, both James and Percy Gillis.
And JTK's no slouch either, let's be real. Speaking of the quick drivers though, Tixie, much more silent but deadly by comparison. Obviously he's the reigning world champion and stamping his authority down straight away, even though it is only Q1. I remind anyone who hasn't watched much F1 or is fairly new, first of all, welcome. But full quality session means it's essentially a knockout format. We have, well, 19 drivers in this case. The bottom 4 will be eliminated. Then we go to Q2, times are reset, then the next bottom 5 are eliminated, leaving us with a top 10 shootout in Q3. So all they have to do is be in the top 15 if they want to make it through. So the cutoff at the minute is a 1:13.083. Roy, just going through the other drivers here, Roy, I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Roy. He's genuinely just a nice chap, lovely to be around, and decently quick on his day, but he didn't. I feel like he missed out on some potential last year.
I mean, I guess we'll never know what.
Oh, next phase is out.
Next phase retired.
Where's? No, hold on. Was
that
in the?
Pits.
That was in the pits.
Yeah, he has a 1:12.1. If you think that's quite enough to go into Q2, that's fair enough. But we have.
And Gamma has
James
retired as well.
His lap right now. No. So James on 5th with a 1:11.9. And Percy Gelly, his teammate, actually invalid, so he's back into the pits. He has how much time do we have?
It'll tell us after the yellow flag's going sector 2.
So
that's a slow moving Alpine. But the cutoff is, as you can see, P15 there, and it's the slowest time on the softs at the minute is a 1:12.7, which I mean, he's only 6/10ths away from it, which sounds like a lot whenever we think about F1, but as the track evolves, you can really gain a lot of time around here. And you do wonder how many of those drivers, it is, as you can see, mostly the new, in fact I think it's all the newer ones aside from Magnetic and stuff in that sort of, in the 15 bracket. You wonder how many of those would be maybe just exploratory laps, were finding their feet, because Jan, TC, Casito and Persegili, they've all done either mediums or not done a run at all. If they all improve, then that knocks next phase down to 13th.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's
he's actually on the soft track now.
I think it was a mistake for him to retire. It might even have been potentially a mistake for Gamma, depending on what happens behind, because Rickety and Rocco will probably look to improve.
Let's see.
We've got 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, so they're going to have time for one more run. Anyone who's coming out of the pits will be doing their last run of Q1.
Exactly.
So next phase maybe has pulled the trigger a little bit too quickly there. Who we
got?
got?
Casito is still in the pits, not out. And TC Gaming with 1:12.5 on the soft run, so he's more in danger. Like maybe next phase took the right choice. I think 1:12.1 should be a good enough time to get him into Q2. I don't think it would be enough to go into into Q3 with that time. But we still have 250 to go until the end of the session, and I think a lot of drivers will do more runs, as we see the Alpine of Holiest Tester still on the outlap. Same goes for Ultra.
It's
He improved by slightly. He's still on P16 with 112.7.
Oh, that was close.
Oh,
Jeez, the Haas having to dive out the way of the Alpine there.
Persigeli is starting his own lap right now, so
there's a lot of. I tell you what, he may be in trouble here because there's a lot of traffic up ahead. It's interesting because there's a bunch of drivers on their outlap. Casito has come out on his outlap, as has the Alpha Tauri of, I want to say that's no, that'll be of Shadow, and then Persigili's on his lap. But there's also drivers, of course, on a cooldown lap, which is they're a little bit out of sync with the rest of the field. As I said, the Haas has just crossed the line. So Persigili goes purple in Sector 1. We're riding on board with him at the minute.
Yeah, and he has 2 cars.
Oh, that was a lock-up down into the downhill section. That is...
Let's see if that Alpine moves out the way. No, she's not moving out the way.
Oh, no! Magnetic smashed into the back of Ultra, and Ultra gets a 5-place grid penalty, but that will be of little comfort to Persigili.
Persigeli crashed into Ultra Magnetic. No, it was very unfortunate. It's both times Ultra was the driver that actually was in the way.
They're all starting to retire now,
yeah,
because there's not too many behind.
Yeah,
right, who's on the lap at the minute? Sorry, let's just see. We've got Duncan's in the wall at the top of the hill in Sector 3. Apparently Shadow had 20 laps of fuel on board when he set his lap, so that shows you the potential pace he has. If he did a 1:12.3 with 20 laps of fuel on board, he could be a dark horse to watch here. He's actually on the lap right now. Who else is on the lap? Jan has backed off. So he's preparing for a final run. He's also got the Alpine of Holiest Tester coming up behind him. Now he is on the lap. He's down in Sector 2. Just ahead of the cutoff point. Magnetic is on the lap, and so is Casito. Persigili just saying in chat, last to first it is. Tomato, which I assuming is Ultra, says, I am so effing sorry to the Merc. But this is why you got to use your mirrors, you know, so...
I mean, even your mini-map, it was quite clear it was twice that happened with the Haas and Magnetic on P13 with a 112.444.
So TC's in the cutoff. TC was on the cutoff. Sorry to interrupt. TC is now in the drop zone because this is where it's crunch time. TC's not going to make it.
Yeah, he's out.
He's on an outlap. Time remaining. TC's done.
Yeah, and let's see what Holiest can actually do, because he's the last car outside the top 15 that actually can move into the top 15 and kick out Duncan. Duncan with a 112.553 and Holiest Tester with a 112.644. Let's see what actually the Alpine driver can actually do here. Let's see if he improves on his second sector. It will come up right now.
Why has he not got a hot lap on? He's not burning ERS.
Yeah, he's plus 1.5 seconds.
He forgot to switch on ERS.
Yeah, I think.
Look, he's charging.
He's charging. Yes, so big mistake by him.
So that's it. So Duncan is safe. So at the end of Q1, immediately we have controversy because TC Gaming, his Williams mechanics have missed the time window massively. Holiest Tester forgot his ERS, and Ultra and Persigili have blown each other up. So those are the 4 that are going to go out.
It's very unfortunate by the Merc driver. Somehow they missed out on JDK, moved up to P2 with a 111.557. So pretty close to Tixie's time. So that seems pretty promising for Q2 and Q3 also.
Yep.
But yeah, TC, Holiest, Ultra and Persigili are out on Q1. Persigili without accident, no time set on the time screen. Holiest forgot to put his ERS on hot lap, so that's pretty unfortunate. And who are we waiting for right now?
Looks like Casito's being pushed into the box, and that should be it.
Yeah, very good qualifying. A lot of things happening. Some people getting very unfortunate, but yeah, we're moving into Q2.
Yeah, there's your confirmation. I mean, Persigili will go ahead of Ultra on the grid, thanks to that 5-place grid penalty, but Magnetic saying he got blocked into turn 1. Persigili just saying, try to look at the track map next time, with a little rasping smiley emoji. So Persigili somehow staying calm. I'm not quite sure how. I would have been livid, but then I suppose in some ways it is partly his own fault. He did not set a banker. He went out for a one-lap wonder.
No, he actually did. That's his second lap. He invalided on his first lap. But,
yeah. Oh, right. Well, then it's still kind of his fault a little bit then, but you know.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
These things happen. So once again, confirmation: Persigili, Ultra, Holiest Tester, and TC Gaming are out of Q1. Not sure what Holiest Tester's flag is. If anyone's able to let me know what that is, please do. It's like a blue and yellow flag with a trident.
Yeah, I saw it. And something very interesting, top 15 being all inside the 1 second gap, so it should be pretty close going into Q2 and Q3. So
and you do have to wonder for the race as well.
Yeah.
You know, obviously some of the drivers who were eliminated, we know that they have pace. Persigili, obviously. TC, we'll never find out what he could have done because he really only set a lap on the mediums. So, you know, they could have the pace to mix in as well. Persigili will be the one to watch flying through the field, hopefully. Alas, the first challenge. But anyway, we're into Q2. As Gemma B just admitting in the chat there, if you were him, you would have gone through MG. I think it means if I were him, I would have gone through MG.
Yeah.
Shadow keeps on putting himself down, saying, I don't deserve to go to Q2 with my pace around here, really. Well, the fact is, Shadow, you're in Q2, you finished P11, so you were knocking on the door of Q3, and apparently you did the lap with 20 laps of fuel on board, so we don't want any driver talking themselves down here. You know, mistakes happen. We have good races, we have bad races, but, you know, it's a competition. Everyone is pushing to the absolute limit, so just because you're not top of the timesheets doesn't mean you're undeserving of a place here. You've proven you're deserving of a place, so just get out there, do your best, and give us a good race.
Yeah, and you'll never know what can actually happen.
What was the ancient Murrayism? Anything can happen in Formula 1, and it usually does.
You're damn right it does. So first car out being
that's
Jan, the leading car. Yeah, and right behind him being the AlphaTauri of Shadow or Sadhau. Right behind him the Ferrari of Mike. Then behind him the Haas driver. That's I think that should be Magnetic. Yep, and behind him being Tixi. So very interesting qualifying. Very interesting Q1 especially with incidents and everything. It should be an interesting night for the FIA after the race.
Well, I don't know if they'll do anything about it because, like, he already got a penalty.
I think it should be getting penalized in my opinion. But let's see even the driver reports it or chooses not to. So it's still
given his demeanor about the whole thing, I think he'll probably not report it, as Jan rather gingerly through second one. He had a very quick outlap.
Yeah.
And I think he's backed off.
And
yeah,
I think he's
backed off.
doing 2 outlaps. He didn't even start his lap.
No. I don't think he meant to do 2 outlaps. He sort of messed up on turn 1. He lost the rear a bit. But he did a very fast outlap, and although the tyres wear away here quickly, 1 lap is not really enough to get them up to proper temperature because you're not utilising the brakes as much as you would on other tracks, which are the main way to get heat into the tyres, particularly the fronts. Shadow had backed off and is now actually catching the McLaren, and the McLaren needs to get out the way, well, close enough. So it'll be Shadow who'll be first to cross the line to set a lap.
And I think he actually forgot his ERS on his outlap because he's quite low for this late into the lap. He was like 50% going into sector 1. I mean, that, but that's still gonna be enough for him to finish a race. Oh, he's gonna go wide. No, he's gonna go wide with a slide, and the time to beat is a 1:12.7. We've seen that the people can actually go much faster than that on Q1.
Sorry, I'm just gonna say it over the chat just to let it, just to make sure he knows. Like, he's saying about his pace and all, as Mike does a 1:11.9, which again we've seen people going quicker than that, and proof enough, Tixi not taking any prisoners with an 11:420. Blaze it. Shadow, make sure your ERS, like, keep pressing the button all the way to the right to make sure it's on hot lap. Like, because I think that's honestly, I think that might be what's costing you here. Just make sure that you've got it on hot lap. It sounds like a silly thing, but it is very easy to, you know, it's just one of those things that you can forget very easily.
Yeah.
I mean, look no further as people say like, oh, it's a simple button press, but like, how many drivers last season have we heard complaining that their pit crews didn't change the front wing because they forgot to press a button to make them change the front wing.
Yeah, that was
Like, it was said about 50 times, and no one ever learned their lesson on it.
Yeah, I mean, they learn the hard way if they cannot remember to do it while driving. But yeah, Mike with a 1:11.959, so he's quite he's quite close to his time as Shadha almost crashed into the pit wall. His teammate Duncan on the 1:12 exactly. And we have yellow flag. That's the Mercedes. If I'm not, he just let the
He's just M3. And again, Shadow saying about his pace, but Jan did 2 warm-up laps there, and still couldn't beat him. He did a 1:12.8. So I mean, Shadow's not a slowpoke by any stretch.
Yeah, tire wear was a thing I think for Jan. He didn't have fresh tires. Maybe we do not know how many people are actually on old tires, cause.
Well, we will do in a second. Hold on, let me get the details. Yeah, no, they were new sets. It's just he did an extra lap on them, but they shouldn't wear away that quickly. Shouldn't be worth that much time.
Quite do. Casito on P4 with a 1:12.03. Times look pretty quick. I mean, Tixie's on his own roll. He just did a 1:11.4, and he's probably gonna sit into the pit for the rest of quali. I don't think anyone will come close.
Well, you say that, but we've still got half the field yet to set a time.
I mean, I'm gonna make a bold statement, but I don't think anyone. And if people make it, I don't think 10 people can actually be quicker than Tixie. I say that.
Well, James
has make a statement there. James on his lap.
I was gonna say James has begun his quest to prove you wrong. The number 13 driver, James the Joker in the Discord, is seemingly wanting to tempt fate. Aye, aye, aye! That was close. That was Aussie trying to. I don't know if that's worth a penalty or not, because I mean it was just unfortunate timing. Aussie was getting past an even slower car, just as James was coming round, and James
didn't seem like James lost any time or involved it. He barely kept it on track there, and he's still pushing.
He's still pushing.
Yeah, he's still pushing. So I think he needs to put a time on the table. I don't think he needs to make the same mistake as his teammate last qualifying round, like Q1. Oh, he almost lost it there on the final exit. I'm gonna stop spectating the Merc drivers.
Shadow's saying apparently that the tires were 0.8 slower, so maybe tire wear does make that much of a difference in quali.
Yeah. I mean, he probably used the same tires from last thing, and James with a 1:12. So we see a lot of people being around the 1:12 fixed time, like 1:12.000. So just Mike and Dixie being the ones that actually drop below that, we still have a lot of people to complete a lap. Gamma B being one of them.
Gamma B purple in sector 2 apparently.
Yeah, I do not.
Oh, we've got a tank slapper coming through the hairpin, and he's gone deep here. I don't think it's going to be pole with this rate. Well, I say pole, Q2 topping time at the minute.
And Rickety's on a lap on sector 2 right now. I mean, he was a winner on the
he's second.
Last couple of seasons, yeah.
1:11.8.
Yeah, great time by Gamma B. So one more driver dropping below the 1:12. Let's see what other people can actually do around here. Shadha actually on his outlap once again. We see Ozzy on a lap.
Rickety's next to cross the line, and he goes purple sector 2. Now, I'm not actually, to be fair, that could be the visual glitch again, not too sure.
Yeah, I think they never fixed that, so I guess we'll have to wait and see what Rickety can actually do coming up to the final 2 corners. So let's see this flat out, and then he goes 60 years, he sticks, keeps it on track very nicely, opens DRS, and a 1:11.9, that's enough for him to go into 3rd place. And a very good time by the Red Bull driver. Let's see what his
Aussie goes P7. You were saying about how it's a bit of a, as Roy goes second now. You're saying it's a bit of a bold, like you're making a bold prediction, but let's bear in mind we don't know if the drivers behind are saving anything or if this is Tixie's absolute pace.
That's why I said bold prediction.
Yeah. I mean, because this is something I noticed with Tixie last season, is that he goes full on in with everything. He doesn't ever like temper his pace or anything like that.
Rocco goes into 3rd with a 1:11.8.
Like it doesn't matter if it's Q1, Q2, Q3 or the race, he's always on maximum attack. And whilst it usually works out for him, as he was world champion, there have been times where it's come to bite him in the back.
Yeah, I can say that being his team principal a while back in this league, he always wants to get out of the thing. He always wants to put one good lap in, even if that's gonna be early going into a qualifying session or late into qualifying. He wants to go early. I understand that. Even if the track evolves, he can actually have a good lap in, and even if he sees people actually competing with him and he's in danger of being out of Q2, he can actually go out later. He has a feeling of the track and everything. So Rocco, with 111.8, he passed his teammate Ricky, he dropped down to 6th. Shadow complaining about pace. That's not P4 with 111.8.
I was going to say P4. That's bloody impressive.
Bloody impressive.
JTK, sorry, did 2 purple sectors there apparently. Now whether the second one was a glitch or not, but the first one was definitely purple.
Yeah, he's coming around the final sector right now too.
Just to finish my point, sorry, on Tixie being overly aggressive. I feel like this is a track where it could hurt him because, as we know, the big challenge with Spain is not the braking zones, it's not the corners, it's not anything like that. As JTK is within a 10th of Tixie. The problem here is tyre wear. You do have to manage your tyres. Tyre wear around here is atrocious. So either Tixie goes on a very aggressive strategy, which relies on him being in first, which he's probably hoping he will be, but there's no guarantee of that. And, you know, he burns through his tyres and does another pit stop, or he has to do a one-stopper and conserve the tyres. But if he's going to be aggressive like that, he will never be able to conserve tyres.
Yep, I agree with you.
And the problem with a two-stopper as well, of course, is it's great on a place like Spa or something because, you know, you have a long lap where if you do more pit stops, the drivers behind have more time to make up. But this is Spain. As you can see, it's a fairly short track. It's a 1:11. So, and a pit stop here costs the same as pretty much anywhere else. It's 21, 22 seconds.
Yeah, depends on your pit crew.
Yeah, depending on your pit crew. So you can lose a lot of time by taking that extra pit stop. So you really have to full on gun it like the whole race. So it's a bit of a risk-reward scenario, especially since as grip degrades, you won't be able to keep that pace. The evaluation races for AOR showed that, where even the quick drivers towards the end of the race were just spinning everywhere because the tires were just dead.
Yeah, it's very high tire wear on this track. Jan will be coming around the final sector to finish his lap. Let's see, he's down to P14, so he needs to get a good time in and step out at the top 14.
And he goes P3.
That's P3.
2 tenths within his teammate.
Yeah, and I wanted to say Tix is a driver that actually likes to take high risk, like he just wants to take it.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting him to go into the hards for this first team. If I was, I think I'll give you like a 60% chance he goes into hards. Might be wrong.
As Roy retires.
Yeah, he retires. He thinks
No,
11.7.
He's only 3 tenths clear of. I mean, the cutoff is a 112 dead at the minute. It's almost like an AI set that, but. Who's in the drop zone? James Taylor is literally just inside the drop zone. So is Ozzy. I mean, look how close everyone is in the bottom half. Aside from Magnetic, who I think had a bit of a scruffy lap, everyone is within a 10th of the cutoff point.
His lap right now, so
as James Taylor goes pole! He does beat Tixie. Your prediction was wrong. Magnetic to the line to start his lap.
Anyone that I can actually ruin my prediction, like that's been one of my one of my old drivers, so I have no issue with that.
Oh, as next phase has stopped dead on the track. Now, whilst we appreciate he's laying a driver through, you don't need to stop dead center in the middle of the track. Just keep coasting.
Yeah.
Because we've had problems before with that, as Thomas D proved last year, when he brought out the safety car by stopping in the middle of the track. Now, obviously that can't happen in quali, but it's still a dangerous thing to do. So
we have a red flag. I haven't seen it. To be honest, I've been away. I haven't played this game, so
I have never seen a red flag either, to be honest.
So yeah, that's pretty rare. So Tixie, JDK, Jan, Roy, all of them retired from the session, with their times being fairly close to the cutout point of Duncan with Mike with a 111.959. So let's see what these people can actually do. Let's see if we have any improvements. Mike on his outlap.
So who have we got in the drop zone? We have Duncan, who's about to start a lap. Ozzy is on like a second outlap. Casito's on his outlap. Next phase is on his lap, and Magnetic is actually coming to the line right now, and he's getting DRS in a bit of a slipstream. But it's still 15th. He improved, but nowhere near enough. So Magnetic is out. He won't have time for another run. Yeah. Next phase has improved by 3 tenths in the second sector, so he's looking good. And that would actually drop... Mike is a bit of the surprise at the minute. He's down in P10.
Yeah,
is Mike.
He's out lap.
He's on his out lap.
Yeah,
Rickety's at risk. Gamma's at risk, I'd say, as well. I mean, I wouldn't...
Duncan is out.
Do you know what? Unless you're in the top 3, I wouldn't say...
we have a spin. The Haas.
The Haas? Oh, well,
Yeah,
Magnetic had already
lap.
finished his lap. He'd finished his
he
lap.
was actually doing a lap because she was still pushing. He got a toe.
I'm not too sure how. He only had 11%. I don't think it would have
I
gotten
don't know.
much.
Maybe he tried his best. But yeah, Ozzy backed off his lap. And
Oh,
he's
Mike is in the
doing
drop
another
zone.
one.
Next phase did improve. Only
Yeah,
just.
And I was about to say Rickety. Look at Rickety. He's on a lap, but look him. He's P9 right now. Rocco is in the pit, so both
Rocco
Red
can't
Bulls
improve.
Kinda, yeah,
I was going to
both
say,
Red
sorry, like, honestly, the top 5, unless you're inside the top 5, I would say you're not safe. That 111.722 could still be overcome, even of Roy's time. You know, like, they're not... I'm surprised so many retired, even if they are towards the front, because the gaps are not that big.
Yeah, but we have a couple of people that actually won't be able to...
Mike is coming round, he's
Magnetic.
improved, and he will go inside the top 10. And he does knock Rickety down onto the cusp of the drop zone.
Rickety's on the third
So next
sector
phase
right
is
now, so
out.
let's see.
Magnetic is confirmed to be out. Duncan...
Yeah, everyone is out. Everyone is out.
Duncan's out, Casito's in the
Rickety
pits.
is out. Rickety needs to improve. And he does by half a tenth. Let's see
Is that
what
going to be
he
enough? It actually
do.
might not be enough to overhaul Shadow, is it?
No,
Just!
It is. Yeah, and Rocco is in the danger zone right now.
But
so
he's finished,
he
so...
really-
No, that's
yeah,
it, because he's in the pits. So, unless Duncan improves, which I don't think he
yeah,
will do.
Duncan is on a lap, so he's on low fuel mode. Let's see. Is he pushing?
I don't think he'll have the ERS to finish it. He's charging again, look. No,
Yeah,
he's...
he doesn't even have the fuel, I think, to finish the race. So, okay, Rocco is in. Both Red Bull is in. So, quickest of the session being James Taylor with a 111.
Tixie's saying they're 90% change at the end or something? What?
Tons of rain, maybe?
Maybe, I'm not too sure, unless he's talking tire wear or something. But yeah, that's it, it's all confirmed. So, we will be losing Magnetic, Casito, Duncan, Next Phase, and Shadow. Unfortunately then, that means that it's all the old guard that have pushed through into Q3. The new talent, obviously they are new, so, you know, we're not expecting miracles of them, but would have been nice to have seen a new one Q3. We nearly had it with Shadow, because Rocco surviving by literally the skin of his teeth. 1.5 hundredths was all it took. Shadow so near yet so far. He says almost spun 2 times in the same corner, so obviously had a bit of trouble getting on throttle, but I know he keeps on putting himself down, but that is by no means a disgrace, you know. To nearly knock out Rocco, who we know is quick. To nearly knock Rocco out of the top 10 is no mean feat, so
Yeah.
well done to him. In fact, and you know, well done to everyone who showed up here, because the pace has been good from all the drivers. I think Casito will probably be the most... Casito and Magnetic will probably be the most disappointed. Casito was somewhat close by Magnetic there. You know, he was half a second off of safety, so he'll have to do a rethink on strategy for the race, because he doesn't seem to have the pace around here.
Yeah, very good qualifying. We have 3 Dutch people out. We have too many. How many Dutch people do we have? I see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Dutch people. And yeah, god damn, we have a Dutch invasion on the grid. 2 of them actually went into Q3.
And 3 got knocked out, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe more we have Q1. But yeah, Q3 is about to start. Let's make a prediction. Who do you think is going to get?
Well,
So
first of all, let me
James
tell you, the
and
reason
Dixie-
Rocco left it so close is apparently he was away having a... Well, like Kimi Räikkönen, I'll let you finish that sentence. He was away having a...
Yeah, I can finish. I can.
Persically replying to that with respect.
yeah.
As you would. But anyway, our top 10 show, we have Aussie, Gamma, the first Aussie I should say, Gamma B, Mike PF1, Tixie, James Taylor, JTK, Rocco, Jan, Rickety, Roy. You'd have to say favourite for the session is Tixie, based on previous form, but it's been a very close run thing. It was actually, wasn't it, JTK got second, who was top of the timesheets in Q2?
James. But would you
it was
say
James.
that he's the favourite because of previous pole positions by Tixie? But I would say James has the same possibilities of him being up there, because if you remember last season at the end of the final race, it was him, Persigelli and Tixie all fighting on a 3-way championship fight. So I wouldn't be putting my money on Tixi.
I would.
I'm not being biased at all right now, saying James wants to be on P1.
Well, they all want to be on P1, but again, I think.
But if I had to guess, I think my top 3 for this season would be James, Tixi, and I would be. I think it's either gonna be Gamma B or JTK, so I'm gonna go with JTK on my top 3.
Oh, for God's sake! Sorry, Gamma, the absolute animal. Because it was mentioned in the chat, he's now saying that he had to go. He's fucking taking a picture of his feet where he's sitting on the toilet. For God's sake, Gamma! You absolute animal!
Yep, let him do his own thing.
You see what we have to put up with?
At this point.
It is what it is. But no, I'm not making predictions for the season at this point because,
I would say just for the quali. So.
Oh right, sorry for the quali. No,
Roy would be the first card to come and start his lap.
It's just you said top 3 for the season.
I said James, Tixi, and JTK my top 3 for the session.
Oh, for session. Sorry, I thought you said season.
No, session.
Right. Anyway, so Roy is first on his lap. So we've got a fair few of the double teams in here. We've got both Astons, we've got both Red Bulls, both McLarens. And then we have a Haas, a Mercedes, and a Ferrari, and a Alfa Romeo. It's a Ferrari.
I'm not gonna finish the sentence, but yeah, go on. Make your guess before Roy finishes his lap.
Can you degenerates in the chat stop mentioning about Gamma B's feet? I swear down.
Feet reveal, bro.
This is not OnlyFans.
I think we should stick on the YouTube chat rather than the Discord chat because.
No, but this is the equivalent of our team radio. I like to call it the team radio. But I dare Gamma B now to get a custom helmet design that has OnlyFans as a sponsor. I fucking dare him. He'll probably do it as well, knowing Gamma.
Yeah, Roy finishing his lap right now. So
let's see the laps. Roy,
1:11.5.
That is not far off what Tixi was doing, and that was only a banker lap, and the track will evolve. The Ferrari of Mike, a 1:11.9.
He's pretty close.
Aussie, 1:11.9. Tixi next to cross the line. 1:11 dead. Near enough. So, okay, so Tixi did have some more in the tank. James will be next to cross line. He's going into sector 3 now, and behind him is Jan on his outlap.
So let's see what actually James can actually do. And remember, on his good lap last session, he actually had a tank slapper on the third sector, so he had more time to find. So let's see, coming up to the final corner, what he can actually pull. Keeps it in the track, DRS open, and crosses the line for a 1:11.5. Decent time, but goddamn, Dixie with a 1:11.5, 4.5 tenths quicker than the second guy. He proves me wrong saying that James gonna be P1, but yeah, I mean, we were seeing Dixie probably. He proves you wrong too, Lars, saying that he was being aggressive. If this is aggressive, I don't know what. If this is not aggressiveness, holy.
Who we got here? Sorry, just checking on who's next on track. It should be Jan, I think, is next to set a lap time, or is it? Yeah, because James already. Yeah, it'll be Jan next.
Yeah.
Just looking in the chat as well. Shadow saying his personal best online. I don't know if that means time trial or not. Is a 1:10.6, and here he's like 1.5 seconds off. Help, please, are his exact words. I'm assuming he means time trial if he's getting 1:10 10s, to be honest. Or maybe 5 lappers, I don't know. Maybe one-shot quali where you get perfect grip and stuff. Oh, that was wide from Jan.
Wide, yeah, I was about to say. But yeah, 1:11.06 for the first guy. Next comes into the pit, so let's see if anyone can even come close, if not beat it, because I think if anyone is able to beat it, it should go down to a 1:10. Jan with a 1:16.8, I don't think he would be happy with this time.
Well, I think that was a scruff lap, to be honest.
VRS. Yeah, he's a lot of VRS, so he's going again.
Yep, Rocco on his outlap now. He's pulled out of the pits.
JTK actually started his lap, so anyone
JTK, hold on. Yep, in the
He just
Haas.
started his lap, and I think one of the Aston, yeah, Roy is about to finish his lap on the third sector right now. He just passed his teammate a couple of meters behind, coming up to the final corner right now. Let's see what he can actually put up to the table. Seems like a good lap. Let's see if it's actually one, and it's gonna be a 1:11.2.
That's not
good
bad.
time.
His teammate has also started lap, and he's going to get slipstream there a little bit, actually.
Yeah,
The toe.
So,
Let's keep an eye on Gamma, because that could prove decisive if he keeps it clean on the rest of the lap.
yeah, I'll keep you updated on the rest of the grid. Jan actually
Invalidates, yeah. So it will be
yeah.
Gamma... No, wait, sorry. It'll be the Haas of JTK next.
Yeah. And he backed off his lap.
JTK backed off, right? Okay, back
Yep.
to Gamma. Who has gone purple sector 1, unsurprisingly, since he got the slipstream. It's now a question of what he can do in sector 2 and 3, the more complex sections. Let's actually ride on board with Rocco, just to get an onboard perspective of the whole lap. So, as I was saying, along the back straight, DRS open, you can reach maximum speed along here. Be careful into the braking zone of turn 1. Use the curb on the outside. Don't leave the braking too late. And watch out for the raised curb on turn 2. It's very easy to spin or run slightly wide, as Rocco did. The everlasting right-hander of 3. It's actually quicker to go tight to the inside, but if you want to save your tyres, slowly drift out to the outside of the track. The long left-hander at 4 effectively becomes a hairpin, although many just see it as a long right-hander. A deceptively tricky braking zone to 5. Again, it's downhill, very easy to snatch a brake on the front left. And then we come to the complex at 6, 7 and 8. Watch the curb on the inside. There are sausage curbs there and the big sleeping policeman on the right to unsettle the car and possibly even break the underfloor of your car. Be as brave as you dare uphill through turn 9 and then the reprofiled turn 10. It can be very slippy on here, particularly on hard tyres. You can see the shine of the new tarmac. Hug the curb as close as you dare on turn 12, but again, watch it, it's raised, you can spin. There used to be the chicane here at turn 13, 14, 15, but now it's just turn 13, and...
I think he was on all tyres.
Yeah, it looks like it, and it would normally be 6th gear through turn 14 and then floor it down the straight, although we've seen some drivers take it in 7th as well. So, that was a quick lap of Spain.
Yeah, 11.2 for Gamma B, so...
I think...
So we are coming close to Dixie, so... If I'm gonna say, if Dixie comes out again and he wants to actually prove, I think if he comes out again, he will go below a 111. I do not think we will go below, because I don't think anyone will challenge Dixie. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, gonna be back into the pits. He was slightly speeding. I'm not gonna say how much the speedometer was saying, but
yeah, well, you don't get penalised for it in quali. But
yeah, exactly.
they're all going to be prepping for final runs now. But this is a surprise. Jan is out already. Now,
yeah, I mean,
as we've seen,
track is empty.
Yeah, but as we've seen on previous tracks, the track evolves like right until the end. So the track is not going to be as good as it will be in a couple of minutes' time. So Jan is putting himself at a disadvantage here, unless he's planning to do 2 outlaps. But he's weaving like crazy to heat those tyres up.
I do not think he's gonna do 2 outlaps. His tires seem quite good now. Their first tires, so I think he will.
Well, we'll keep an eye on him. I mean, as you say, he's taking advantage of a clear track, but there's only 10 cars in the session, and I don't know. I feel like this is a mistake from Jan. But then there's some others out now. But by the time they start their lap, his teammates only leaving the pits now.
And let's see what he can actually do. Dixie came out again, so Jan will be starting his lap. So let's see what he can do. He's currently P7 with a 1:16.8 bad lap because he had a small incident, but and his second lap got actually invalidated. So let's see, we have Jan, and we have also JDK, Rocco, and Ricky, all 3 without the time set. It goes purple into sector 1, Jan.
But this is what you're going to see across the field, though, is that the times will come down across the board.
Exactly, so let's see what we can expect. Let's see, because we have Mike, Ozzy, Jan, JDK, Rocco, and Ricky D. These guys are quite fast.
Who's starting a lap now there? That is... Ozzy is going to be next to cross the line. He's just started his lap. There's his teammate. There is Tixie, currently on provisional pole, safe by about 2 tenths.
Do we see Tixie getting a tow from his teammate? Because
I don't know if it was enough to consider a tow. He was very much offline. Anytime.
No, Tixie getting a tow from his
teammate. Tixie getting a tow. I don't know if that was the plan or if that's just Tixie taking advantage.
It works out.
He's a little bit far away. but he'll get a little bit of a
come
toe.
around the track for a 111.5. That's going to be enough for P5.
And there you can see, well, Jan's actually pulled out of the slipstream very early there.
Yeah,
So didn't get the advantage he maybe would have wanted, but it'll maybe do something for him. Aussie is next to cross the line. He's currently on a 111.9. Mike is still on the 111.9 as well. Oh, and Aussie backed off, I think. Yes, he did. He did. He's recharging. Who's next to cross the line behind Aussie? Roy's on a out lap. Gamma's on out lap. Who's the Haas there? JTK is also on out lap. Hold on.
Yeah, Dixie actually.
James Taylor will be next to cross the line.
Yeah.
Followed by Tixie.
Yeah, Tixie didn't improve on his sector 1. So let's see if he can improve on his second sector. The time will come up just about now. So let's see. He's actually
James Taylor's a 10th up in the second sector apparently.
And Tixie's half a 10th down on his time, so he's slower. So let's see if he can pull up. Nah, thanks upper on sector 3. Let's see. He's gonna finish his lap. So let's see if he.
James Taylor to the line goes P2.
And Dixie coming around the lap with a 111.7. Not
so
slower.
did not improve at all.
But quite close to his old time. So
purple sector 2 from Mike apparently. He's 2/10ths up in the second sector. Didn't see where sector 1 was, but I thought the 111.9 wasn't representative. Let's see what he can do. He was close in Q1, fell off a bit in Q2. This is to the line. This is the last chance. And he comes to the line and goes. It's still 6th.
Keep an eye out for Gamma B. He's improving. So let's see. I think it's gonna be a provisional P2 for Gamma B.
It is P2. Oh, so close. Rocco and Rickety now. Rickety will be first across the line. Goes P7 only. Rocco. P8. Those two are inseparable. I swear down. JTK's lost his front wing, by the way, somehow.
Yep.
Aussie doesn't improve.
So that's James is not on a lap.
And Roy does not improve either. So that's it.
Yeah. Dixie, first pole position of season 6 of PowerF1. So congrats to him. Dixie, Gamma B, and James. I mean, I said it, but I was kind of mixed on the,
It's Greek. What you've done is Grieg's Piano Concerto. I am playing all the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order.
Exactly, I was about to say, but our top 3 of the first qualifying.
Oh, that was close. Where's the Mercedes? Mercedes been going down the old track layout. James.
Yeah. Probably want to take a look on the tarmac over there.
James feeling a bit of nostalgia from last year. Oh, and also blowing up the pit board for good measure. God damn it, James.
Gamma B, James.
It was James who did it. We have to pay for those, you know.
I mean, we can send him the check.
Send in the bill.
Yeah, send him the bill to fix it.
Gamma B. Yeah, let's talk about that though. Like Gamma B, not even a 10th away from pole. James Taylor about a 10th away from pole. Roy not too far behind either. That top 4 are bloody close. And even behind them, everyone was within a second of pole time, except for JTK, who unfortunately did not set a lap. Much to my surprise, I have to say.
But yeah,
now, how did he lose his wing? That's what I want to know.
I missed it, I'm not sure, but first qualifying of the season is done, with Dixie taking P1 with a 111.06, Gamma B with Aston Martin very close to Dixie. On P2, James with Mercedes, he's on P3, his teammate down to P19, so he has a long way to go. Roy on the Aston Martin on P4, Jan with a McLaren, P5, Mike on the Ferrari, on P6, 7 and 8 are taken by the Red Bulls of Rickety and Rocco. Alfa Romeo driver Ozzy is on P9 and JTK, a very unlucky driver, not set it a time, down to P10. He missed his front wing, he destroyed it, we didn't see where. Probably contact with a wall, I guess, a spin, but I didn't see any yellow flags, so yeah.
He's not typed anything in chat as JDK, so...
I mean, he's quite keeping to himself, he doesn't talk too much during the qualifying. But yeah, a long straight down to turn 1, so it really matters to who's gonna get the best start. So start is very crucial, depending on your strategy. So let's see what the drivers are gonna
Shadow,
choose.
please man, stop putting yourself down. He's just said in chat, watch me blow someone up because I'm stupid. You are not stupid, you are not slow, you have good pace. Just do your best, man. There is nothing wrong with your driving, like, holy cow.
I think he's just doing it, so... I think he's just doing it. he knows he's gonna do better, but I think he's just saying just to say it, if you know what I mean. I don't think he actually means it.
Well, I hope he doesn't. I really hope he doesn't, because, like, he's not being fair to himself.
Pace. He showed great pace.
He did show great pace. Is it me, or does that look a little bit misty to you?
Yeah, it looks quite cloudy, so could be expecting some rain. There's no way.
Well, even if there's no rain, the fact is as well that that'll affect track temperature. Temperatures on track, yeah. Can we get a weather check from any of the drivers? Do we have chance of rain in this session? If anyone can type it in the team radios, the Discord chat, that'd be good. I still don't know why this isn't a feature, by the way. Cody's, for the love of God, let the spectators see what the weather is going to do. Is it really so difficult? I don't know if we have formation lap on.
Oh yeah. Do we?
We're about to find out.
Yeah,
no, we don't. It's lights out and away we go. Tixie away well. Oh, the whole field actually getting away very close together.
Yeah,
lots of action happening in the midfield. They're all the way clean at the front. That is Jan trying to go around the outside of Mike. The two Red Bulls have collided. That's Rocco just getting away with it. We have a spin at the back. That's next phase. And Gamma B was second, looking to retake second from James Taylor, and does so. Roy also trying to find a way through. But James is still on his inside. Is he just? James on the hards, actually. Let's actually bring that up, sorry. Looking at the tyres. Look at the mixture of tyres we've got in this field. Tixie leading away on the hards. From Gamma, from Roy, from James, who's also on the hards. Mike on the mediums. Jan, Rickety on the hards. Casito had a brilliant start. He's up to P8 in the Williams.
Take a look at Percy Kelly, up to P12.
P12 as well, yeah. We'll get the big winners and losers offline in a second. There's action happening all the way down the field, even towards the back. Rocco trying to recover, and that is Magnetic spinning out. That's a very odd place to spin out. He must have got a wheel on the curb.
Pushing Dixie through corners right now, so let's see down the main straight. Not DRS, we have to remind people. Don't DRS since it's the start of a race.
Yep, sorry, just looking at the big winners and losers offline. Biggest winners were... it's actually Holiest Tester and Persigili, who both went up 7 places. Casito went up 6.
Gamma B overtook Dixie, go down.
I can see that. We got a terrible camera angle for it, but we're not getting one for Roy. Roy round the outside, gets squeezed a little bit, but braves it out. Tixie has fallen back. Now, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. If they're doing a 2-stopper, the two Asins, which I think is... I mean, it's saying there on the possible pit rides you could do a 1-stop, but the softs will burn away very quickly. If they're doing a 2-stopper...
Like 5 laps into them.
Yeah, if they're doing a 2-stopper, that was essential that they get ahead, as Roy gets a wee tank slapper on there. The cooler temperatures may actually help the softs. The softs may actually be able to do a 1-stop. Because, of course, with cooler temperatures, you don't burn the tyres as much. And also with cooler temperatures, the hards are going to struggle a heck of a lot more. Yep. Which explains why Tixie has dropped down to P3.
Yeah, and Persigeli is up to P10, so he's making those softs actually work out. He needs to gain position. He actually gained 9 in 2 laps, so he needs to gain a lot more to be actually competing for the race win or even the top 5 or podium. But yeah, what a nice start, very clean if we exclude the incident between the two.
Yeah, it was as Gamma says fast. It was the two Red Bulls ended up tripping up over each other. Rocco got hit off and thankfully ghosted before he hit anyone else. As we see, I just wanted to check in on Shadow, who did get away cleanly. He's on the hards and is battling with JTK. Sends him to the outside. Lovely bit of defensive driving from Shadow there. Looking through the rest of the field, the action is currently... Oh, stuff is happening in the midfield there. Casito getting past Rickety. Now, he's taking advantage of the softs, obviously, but Casito's doing exactly what he needed to do in that, Williams. He's currently up to P7. Persigili trying to follow him through. Oh, that's tight. But he gets past Rickety. All the hard runners, I think, have miscalculated. They're dropping like flies. I knew they were going to be slower on pace, but I didn't think it'd be this much slower.
It's gonna be a lot... much more slower than mediums or soft runners, but
as Persigili on Casito.
On.
That was clean as you like. I think Casito knows that. Oh no, I say that he's coming back at him.
He goes around the outside.
And in behind, Rickety under pressure from Aussie as well. No, I knew that the tires were going to be slower, but at this point, I mean, Tixie might get away with it, but the other hard runners are going to have such a fight on their hands.
I mean, James is actually fighting. He lost DRS right behind being Mike and the McLaren. So let's see, will Mike have...
Oh, and Roy and Gamma B. Sorry, hang on. Roy and Gamma B were also fighting there because the position indicator changed. As Aussie gets ahead of Rickety. And yes, Mike is trying to find his way past James, literally pushing him through the right-hander on those mediums versus hards. You can see the difference. But as I say, my point is, based on the pit stop indicator, soft tires to medium is a viable one-stop strategy. So the hard runners may be wasting a compound here if they're not careful. Ooh, Mike. Oh no. Oh, this is what we were on about. Mike, he was the attacking driver. It's kind of his responsibility to overtake cleanly, and that was not a clean overtake. James Taylor bumped all the way back to 16th, if not further. We got Young, and he's trying to recover 17th actually for him, as Rickety gets past Holiest Tester, who is on the softs. Are the softs burnt out already? We're on lap 4.
I would say they're burnt. I mean, they have like 5. You can put like 5 laps on them, and they will be dead after that. So I don't know what the. I think the soft runners were actually expecting a safety car. If I'm not, I could be wrong, but I think that's what the strategy was.
The front runners having their own wee battle as as Jan gets past Mike.
I think it's in the hands of Dixie. The race is in his hands if we don't have a safety car. Right
Meanwhile,
now, just relaxing behind those two.
Oh, this is close. Rickety is trying to defend from Holiest. Sorry, there was a bit of argy-bargy going through there. Holiest does still seem to have pace in those softs. He's gotten through. Shadow, meanwhile, much like a Shadow, is just hovering around, constantly following them.
Now Mike against Persigelli, another Merc fight.
And Shadow... Does Shadow get Rickety around the outside? Yes, he does. Not quite, actually, because the Alpine actually prevented him from going any further. But he does get through. Beautiful move from Shadow. He's proving his worth here so far. The newcomers maybe struggled in quali, but they're really showing some pace in the race here. And this trio of about 4 cars are giving some great entertainment. Up the front, Persigelli is up to P6 and is hounding Mike in the battle for P5.
I was saying that now
Sorry.
The roles are reversed between the Mercedes and the Ferrari. Now the Mercedes is actually attacking the Ferrari. So let's see if Mike can actually take out both Mercedes on Spain.
Shoutouts to Casito as well in the Williams after his brilliant start. It wasn't just a fluke from all the damage. Well, he runs wide, he runs deep, he recovers, he just survives. Further on behind him, look at this gang all together. Shadow going past Holiest, but look at the slipstream train. Where's Rickety going to go here?
Contact mate, and Persigelli is out too, and both the McLaren and Persigelli.
Oh gosh, sorry, I didn't see that. Persigelli and Jan, both off the track. My apologies, we were watching the midfield pack going down the main straight there because they were having a great battle. There's action all over the track.
Yeah, and I'm about to say, Mike actually managed to take out 3 cars.
Was that Mike's move again?
I don't think it was Mike's moves. It was 3 wide going into turn 1. So it was Mike, Jan, and Persigelli. Mike went wide, and I think he just steered a bit too much to the right. Didn't give enough space to Persigelli. Persigelli made contact with his rear wheels, lost it, and went straight into the McLaren.
Ultra gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I want to keep an eye on 4th and 5th here because we've been talking about Mike, and Casito, having driven with him last season, is competitive and aggressive as all hell. This could be like 2 Siamese fighting fish coming together as Casito's tires are dying on him. He's losing grip everywhere. He'll still get DRS here. Will it be enough to overhaul Mike? We'll find out.
I think it should be enough, but
Shadow under pressure from Rickety as well, further back.
It will be a nice
and he's charging as well down the straight.
Yeah, I'm about to say Mercedes and Spain does not go together.
Yeah, next phase also gets 3-second penalty as Persigelli begins his fight back the second time. Holiest Tester. Oh, we got yellows. Who was that? Oh, it's Shadow.
Shadow. Yeah, he lost it.
I think he went too wide. I think he got on the AstroTurf on the outside.
The Ferrari of Operbana must make contact with the Alpine. He will overtake.
Did he make? It was close. I didn't see any actual contact there, though.
Yeah. TC Gaming chasing after Persigelli. I don't think he actually.
Yeah, TC. We haven't mentioned much about TC. He's had a quiet race so far. Didn't get the launch that his teammate did, but he's doing okay in the minute 11th.
Yeah.
Closest battle on track at the minute is, well, it's actually Tixie. Tixie at the front is chasing down Gamma.
I think he knows. He has a 5-second gap to the car behind. He knows that these 2 guys will actually pit. I think he just wants to stay close to them, recharge. You see, like, these 2 guys are coming quite close together with the DRS, but nothing special. Tixie can actually overtake them, but I think his better choice is to stay back, restart.
Mike and Casito, sorry, I just saw the arrow there. They're going to have a ding-dong here as Mike is recharging once again. He's burned most of his ERS.
Yeah, Mike is
but
giving it everything.
You saw a perfect example at the front there with the top three of the problem with... This is, like, DRS has been very helpful for F1, make no mistake, but that's the main problem that you'll hear a lot of drivers talk about, is the DRS train. In that Tixi, were it not for being three cars together, would have gotten through there, but because Gamma B got the DRS off his teammate, he got the straight line speed boost as well. And it meant that Tixi didn't actually have the pace, as Casilla runs slightly wide again, to overhaul Gamma B.
Yeah, I'll have to answer a phone call, so I'll leave you to it first.
That's fine, you go right on ahead.
I'll be right
We've
back.
still got action all the way up and down the field. Further on down the field, Jan and Next Phase are battling. Even if it is only per P14, they're not going to call it quits. Let's get back towards the front. Roy, Gamma and Tixi, as you were. Mike tries to break the slipstream of Casito, who now has Rickety, JTK and Ozzy and all of his friends for company. And somehow Casito not getting the DRS there, or refusing to activate it. And Mike spins! Mike has spun! Doesn't look like there was any damage caused, but aside from talent. Sorry, Lando Norris reference there. Further on back, Persegili gets past Mike as well, so that's Persegili back up to P9 for the second time today. As Ultra retires from the session, and he's retired on track, that will be a slam dunk penalty for the Alpine driver. Rocco has still yet to recover, he's 14 seconds behind. And you can see Casito now, after that brilliant start, is really starting to struggle in that Williams. The tyres are dead, it's only lap 9, it's too early to go for the one stop. He'll have to do at least another 5 laps, I'd say, if he wants to make one stop work, and even then he may have to go to the hards. Tixi, meanwhile, is much closer to Gamma B this time around. We'll try and keep an eye on both battles here. DRS open for both Gamma and Tixi. Does Tixi have the speed? No, he does not, but Gamma has the pace to overhaul Roy, and Tixi may have the pace as well. Goes to the inside. Roy will try and battle him. There's a little bit of argy-bargy. And Roy has to catch a slide, but does survive. Rickety gets ahead of Casito. Casito bumping and barging with JTK, but holds on a bit, maybe aggressive, but just within the rules. Can JTK make amends down to the braking zone? Surely Casito's tyres have had enough. JTK looking to the outside. He'll not find a way through there. And Aussie is also behind them, looking to try and make a move, as TC Gaming is the first to pit. He's had enough of the softs and it's only lap 10. So TC Gaming the first to pit, hoping to gain positions on strategy rather than battling through the field. Maybe has hopes for a safety car as other drivers' tyres wear off. All it would take was one little slip. And Casito is running right on the ragged edge in that regard, as Aussie and JTK lock horns, or rather lock wheels. And Aussie on the mediums gets ahead. The mediums still looking to be a good tyre at this phase of the race. The hards yet to come into their own. Coming down the back straight, Roy has fallen back now, even with DRS, as Tixi now trying to catch Gamma B. Does he go for the move? It's a very late lunge, and it does not pay off on this occasion. JTK, meanwhile, gets his revenge on Aussie with DRS. Next phase and James, as Next Phase is also pitting now, so we're starting to see a few pit stops. Where's the stops? Yep, Rocco and TC. Next Phase will be pitting as well, as you can see. What tyre are they going on to? Next Phase on the hards, TC onto the mediums. And you can see there the relative ages of the tyres. Unsurprisingly, most of them on 10 laps because they had them on since the start, but you can also see the compounds. And as we sort of predicted, the soft runners have made progress through the field. But Tixi has the advantage. He's on the hards. He can take these tyres a bit longer, take advantage of a much clearer track. But whether it will come back to bite him at the end when he's when he has to do a late pit stop We will wait and see. As Tixie does get the lead off Gamma B with DRS. Gamma B will not take that line down, but he may not have a choice. Surely the softs are well past their best. Casito proving my point further as JTK on the hards gets through. Casito presumably trying to hold on for the one stop. And maybe looking to come back at JTK. He thought about it, but it's not happening this time. And the field's starting to settle down at least a little bit in most places. But we have had action right the way up and down this field. Since lap 1 basically, so... And we're not even a half race distance yet, so looking back to the front runners... The gap is just increasing gradually over time here between Gamma and Tixie. I don't think the softs have it in them anymore, even with DRS. Is Tixie going to burn? Tixie's actually burned most of his ERS, and Gamma is using the ERS as well. He wants to get through, but he actually thinks better of it on this occasion. Letting discretion be the better part of valor on this case. As JTK gets ahead of Rickety. Again, another pass with DRS. Oh, and Rickety's well wide. He got a tank slapper. Runs wide into the gravel, but keeps the car in the right direction. He's down to P7 now, though. As Mike retires, Mike has crashed. You can see him there on the inside barrier. How he ended up there, I'm not quite sure. No safety car. It was a quick yellow and then it's done. But Mike is out of the race in the Ferrari. We got more yellows. Who's that? That's Magnetic. Taking a bit too much curb and having to bump across the grass. Casito has lost 2 places. He spun at the top of the hill. And he's going to lose one of the holiest as well. He's pushing too hard for the tyres that he's got. Needs to try and just settle down. He might as well pit now. Those tyres will be massively overheated. Gamma B, still on the old softs, does retake the lead. And that's surprising that he still has the pace for that, as Holiest, in coming into the pits for his first pit stop at PowerF1, gets a 5-second penalty for his troubles. Casito also in the pits, understandably having shredded those soft compound tyres. He took them as long as he could. Lap 14 is still a pretty good distance for them. And he will go on to the mediums, which in theory he could take to the end. Theoretically. It'll not be easy, but it is possible. Now, if Gamma B's smart here, I'll actually let Tixie overtake him on this straight. But Tixie's wise to it, decides not to. Because he wants DRS along the main straight to guarantee his overtake. Safety cars are off. Apparently. Now, And
I'm back.
George, apparently, are safety cars meant to be off?
No.
Apparently safety cars are off.
How do we know?
Because we had Mike in the wall in a rather dangerous place and the yellow just removed it straight away.
That might be the game. I'm not sure, we have to ask
Sorry, Roy is the first of the top 3 to pit. Goes on to the mediums. Persegili has also pitted, finally getting rid of his softs. And
yeah, I'm not sure if safety cars are out, or maybe the crew was quick enough to actually clean the debris off.
I've just got Jan saying in the chat that the safety cars are... We might be able to check. No, not assist restrictions. Where would it be? Rules and flags. Nope, safety car is set to standard.
Yeah, so just the stewards being too quick?
Yep, nope. Sorry, Jan, safety cars are on, so... I'm surprised there wasn't even a VSC, considering where the car was, to be honest. But anyway now, let's see. So, Roy has blinked first and has pitted. Tixie is still within DRS range of Gamma, but the softs are well past their sell-by date. And Gamma does indeed box the slap. So, Tixie now has to just use the clean air and try and get as many laps, quick laps, as possible to build up a gap. Now, to be fair, he doesn't exactly have much ERS to play with. He's down to 27%. So his best bet now is to just try and keep things clean and hope that the two Astons run into traffic of some sort. Gamma B will come out. He will probably come out behind his teammate, possibly even behind Shadow. And indeed he will. There goes Shadow. And Shadow is on the hard, so he will be running a bit slower. So Gamma has to get through there as a matter of priority.
Yeah, and seems like a pretty quiet race. As I would say, Dixie, 7-second gap seems feels like Max Verstappen, somewhat. But yeah, Dixie having a very quiet race. He did his job. He stayed behind those Aston Martins. He didn't lose time, and now he's 7 seconds in the clear, but still one pit stop to go and a long race to go. We're almost halfway now.
Yeah, we're only just about to hit half race distance, as you say.
Exactly. So we have a long way to go. Mike and Ultra DNF from what I've seen.
And clearly Gamma, what's that saying to me? Oh! Slight contact with Shadow there. Shadow tried to come back at Gamma. Maybe a little bit of an ambitious move. They bump wheels, but no harm done.
Persigili back at it again, trying to come up.
Persigili is always out. He's been into the pits,
Yeah,
so now he's got this.
Casito
Casito retires.
And the safety car is out.
Oh, he lost it on the sleeping policeman going up the hill section. I told him to watch out for that bit, but that's surprising. He kept it. He had already stopped. Those were fresh tires. He should have had all the grip in the world.
In the pits, we have the first one that's going to pull the trigger. Duncan in the pits. That's perfect timing for him. It's going to be his first pit stop with a safety car. Let's see what the top 3 are going to actually do. They have the chance to pit since the safety car did not come right in front of them. So, what would you do if you were Tixi? Would you pit for new tires? We've seen medium runners going with 16 laps with those mediums, having decent pace, but it's gonna be 3 laps. So let's say safety car comes in lap 20, so we're gonna have 13 laps on those mediums.
I think he's just gonna come in for mediums. We've already had the 2 Astons putting it on the mediums, and they're planning to go to the end. So with the safety car now, Tixi should be able to make it to the end fairly easily. The question is, how many others are gonna pit, and if will he come out first?
Yeah, and Tixi pulls the trigger. See, ZK right behind him is trying to follow.
Get it slowed down. He does
it's
just.
Be fairly close between. I think Dixie will come up ahead. Both us.
Yeah, they will. He will because of course they've got the delta to adhere to.
He falls in, and Dixie's on the softs. Am I seeing right?
Yes, he is.
Is this a?
No, we did have softs going on as late as lap 14. But they were dead by that point. I'm honestly flabbergasted. He could easily have gone to the mediums. We know he has good pace. And,
maybe let's see what he thinks. Maybe he thinks another safety car will come out. But even on under the safety car, his tires will actually get wear.
Shadow saying, apologies, Gamma, that was netcode, he thinks.
And, yeah. That's a second chance for both Mercedes drivers having a very
you mean
I'm not gonna say bad race, a very unfortunate race, and for Rocco and Magnatech, the field will be bunched up, the field will be close once again. Everyone is having a second chance on their race. Might not be the best news for the top 3, that was Dixie and the other guys, but I think this will safety car comes out exactly in the middle of the race. Yeah, let's see what the future holds.
It does. I am very surprised by Tixi going to the softs. Is there anyone else on there? Tires?
Oh, yes, we have Duncan.
Only Duncan, but I mean Duncan is outside the point, so he has a sort of a might as well feckin' go for it and see what happens. He's got that mentality. Tixi is the only driver on the softs, and he's got to carry them to the end. So even if the safety car comes in, at the end of the next lap, that'll be the end of lap 19. That's 14 laps on the softs, which isn't impossible, but we've seen how quickly the softs lose their pace relative to the mediums.
I mean, let's see how much time he can actually find.
Yeah, and the mediums were only on for a couple of laps So basically what he's relying on is absolutely ditching the 2 Astons enough to either hold another pit stop or just hold the amount of time they're going to gain.
Yeah.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Yeah, we have so everyone is on the medium tires, except Tixie and Dog on both on soft, and then we have upper Banan with hard tires. I mean, I don't think seeing a Ferrari on hard tires where everyone else is on mediums, that's a classic Ferrari strategy. That's like I think he's a Ferrari fan. If I could get a bet, I think he's a Ferrari fan. Just seeing from the strategy, he goes into the hard tires where everyone else is on mediums. He's gonna fall like a fly, as we saw the other people. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Let's see what Tix can pull off those softs. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I cannot find any excuse. Are those even soft, fresh tires? Are those even fresh? That's a good question. I don't know. I think he made a mistake because he's probably hoping for another safety car. And we're waiting for Magnatech to catch up, and I think safety car should be coming in the next lap. If not this one. Magnatech caught up. Let's see. Yeah, safety car.
Yep, safety car will be coming in this lap.
As I said, 3 laps of safety car. Lap 20 we start racing again. So
start of lap 20.
JDK and Rickety having a very good race as for now, both on P4 and P5 with fresh set of mediums as of everyone. I think they have the freshest tires. They actually do, and let's see what Tixie can actually pull off. He's going really slow, going into the final corner. Let's see when he actually starts. If he gets the bad camera.
Let's get a look behind from Tixie. When's he going to go? He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone right now.
And he has left Roy somewhat for dead, trying to break the toe. Now here's the thing, of course. Although Tixie is on the softs, because the mediums have been on for a few laps already, like they were up to racing temps, it'll be much quicker to heat the mediums. So Roy and Gamma still have a window of opportunity to try and overhaul Tixie. And even then, all they have to do is try and stay with him. As JTK says, I'm going to do something about this. And British hegemony is being challenged by the American Haas team.
And he actually holds it.
He does hold it. There's Rickety. As Shadow gets past, does he? Shadow battling with Upper Banan. Who is still on the hards, actually.
No, he boxed for hards. So
oh, he boxed for hards?
Yeah, he boxed for hards. I said it. That's a Ferrari strategy. When everyone else is on mediums, you go hard.
We don't. I know we're trying to do like real, proper F1 here, but we don't have to role play Ferrari. Now, come on.
I mean,
you got. I mean, you can handle. You can respect the dedication to the role. And we've got yellows. That is magnetic.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guy. It's just not his day today, is it?
Yeah, and Tixie.
And Tixie has indeed bolted. It's 1.6 the gap now.
Particularly behind Rickety. He's looking at that podium. He wants that podium after this terrible qualifying, I would say.
Well, not really his fault, James, to be honest. Let's be real.
Yeah, on both occasions, it wasn't his fault. But yeah, let's see what his teammate James behind Ozzy can actually do. Both of them are looking at those podiums or top 5 in his places. Tixie 1.7. That's not enough for a gap if you want to do something with it.
As
right now and keeps growing on Roy.
Duncan, the other soft runner, also trying to make up moves. He sort of forces next phase wide, and he's back up into 11th. And his next target is Oper, who's on the hards.
I think it's gonna be an easier overtake with the Ferrari.
Should be in theory.
In theory, seeing those soft tires, it should be quite close going into here. So he should be gaining a lot of time in this sector. Goes slightly wide.
Oh, as he made a big mistake, and next phase is looking to come back at him, but going wide at the top of the hill does not do anything to help his problems. Let's keep an eye on JTK here as Tixie sets another fast lap and is 2.3 ahead now. But how long can those softs run at this potential? You were saying about 4 or 5 laps, in which case he's already halfway through the main bulk of his tire. And the mediums, we know, can hold a decent pace for quite a while. So this is not over by any stretch. Just because he's pulling away now does not mean it's all done and dusted. Although they're all running very low on ERS. Gamma down to 22, Roy 24, and even Tixie down to 33. JTK has 70% ERS. He's got enough to do battle here.
Same goes for Persigillo. He just stays behind those guys.
And Rickety. Rickety's got high ERS as well.
He just waits for them to make the mistake. He just waits for them. Waits for the DRS. If I was him, I would start making moves because DRS, it's activated also, but it's gonna be a train. But let's see. He's charging. Maybe he gets them on the trade. Maybe he wants to wait. Choose the right time to make them. He cannot afford to make another mistake or get involved in another incident. Same goes for his teammate. And we have yellow flag, and that's Rocco. No, that's the McLaren. That's Jan. He's down to last place. So we have a McLaren sandwich on the grip.
Yeah, pretty much. One in the front, one at the back.
Yeah, we have one. Exactly.
Oh, hello, Persigili, pulling out the slipstream. He has a little peak, but nothing doing. The slipstream train is in full effect as Duncan gets past Upper.
It's gonna be super close. Rickety is one of the guys that will not actually fight someone that he actually knows he cannot fight. So I think right now it's not gonna be one of these moments because late into the race, 22 laps out of the 33. He should be able, he should fight for his position. Maybe look at JTK. I don't know. We should wait and see. His teammate James following Ozzy. James with 2 laps, newer tires than Ozzy. Let's see what he can actually do. Can he overtake? Can he not? Shadow and Duncan, both AlphaTauris. I would say sitting preferably in P9 and P10, but Duncan, those soft tires. I don't know how long he can stay out, but yeah, we can already see the gap being 3.7 between and a small moment for Persigilli over there. We can actually see the gap still growing between Tixie and Roy, slightly growing, and I think this is the point as Gamma B will overtake
Gamma B and Roy, yep.
Places. Yeah, they don't want to lose time over there. I think this is the point where you can see how much time Gamma B actually gained on Tixie. That should be due to the DRS, but I think the soft should start dropping right now.
Well, you say that, it's sort of hovering around 3.6 right now. It's popping up, it is going up a little bit, but not as much as quickly as it used to.
Yeah, it's still, the track is quite cold, so it's not the highest tire deck we will see around this track.
Yeah, I mean the sun has broken through now though as Rocco leaves the session.
Probably.
The gap is now up to 4, so there's still quite a bit of grip in those softs for like, the corners and stuff. But
yeah. But 10 laps to go. Let's see. Comparing his lap times, Tixie on sector 2 being 4 tenths slower than his best. I mean, we can expect that, but yeah, we start how quick. That's in the span of 2 laps. He lost 4 tenths in sector 2. But let's see what Tixie can actually do with those soft tires. 4.3 the gap, and Persigilli just sitting behind P5.
Oh, hello, and JTK, what can he do here? Are we going 3 wide? JTK, oh, a little bit of argy-bargy with Roy, but JTK's through. The Haas up to 2nd. Gamma B trying to get back his teammate. I'm assuming no team orders at the minute, and Rickety wants in on this action as well. Looks to the inside of Gamma B. All things being equal now, the Asens are suddenly finding it a bit tricky.
And Persigilli is right behind them, just looking at
and further back as well, Ozzy and James Taylor are also back in this.
It's an 8, like it's 7.
Top 7, yeah.
Podium. And I wouldn't count out the Shadow. He's not quite far. He's not that far away from the fight.
Yeah, now he's gotten through those. He's gotten through that slower group, yes, and he's not a million miles away. So Shadow, as Rocco retires,
that's in the that's in the street. That's in the middle of the track. So
that will be a penalty. And Ultra will need one as well because we got he retired on track as well. So Rocco will receive a slam dunk penalty for that.
Yeah, and you can see Tixie slowing down.
The advantage, of course, is that
1.5 seconds slower than his best time. So
of course, the one advantage with retiring on track is that the safety car doesn't come out for stuff like that usually. So because normally the AI will find a safe place to park up. But Rocco's done; he's had enough, and the gap is actually coming down now, as you say. It's now back into the 3-second margin, 3.5 the gap, and it's JTK leading the charge though this time, and JTK seems to have a lot of pace now in this phase of the race. And JTK actually did get the second, like the fastest time in Q2, so he's shown he has pace. And now he's getting a chance to unleash it. Roy's starting to fade a little bit, so too Gamma B for that matter, because Rickety is all over the back of Roy.
Yeah, and I think Tixie believes that he
and Holiest Tester's gone.
That's,
oh, he spun it.
that's
into
a
the
safety car.
Another safety car, yep, he's a dangerous position. Now.
That's perfect for Tixie. That's perfect.
It is in for it in the... Well, it's perfect for all if they're saving the tires, but is anyone gonna take the risk and change?
I think Roy and Persigelli, I know 100% Persigelli will box.
Opera, you'd imagine, would, and Tixie's boxing again.
I mean, he has to.
Well, he doesn't have to, because I think his tires could...
follows him. Roy follows him. Same goes for Gamma B.
How did JTK get 3 seconds there?
Maybe sped.
They're all boxing. They're all going to go to fresh softs. This is going to be a shootout.
Aston Martin.
Except for Shadow. Shadow's gone on.
Yeah, Aston Martin.
Why is Tixie on the intermediates?
Oh, that's...
Wait, is it raining?
I have no idea what's going on. I don't think it's raining. No one is... Oh, we have James on Inters. JTK on Inters too.
Why are they on Inters? James Taylor on Inters.
I think we're missing the weather. I think I think the reason why Tixie went into soft is because we're expecting rain, but being on the commentary booth, we can only see the clouds. We see that's cloudy, but we have no info regarding the race.
It's definitely not raining in a minute. We have... Now, whether there was a chance of rain at the end and they were trying to anticipate the rain...
I think they're guessing it's gonna rain because I do not think it's a mistake. JTK, Tixie...
You know, because that's too many drivers to be, like, a mistake.
Yeah, and we have everyone else on softs except the top 3.
The top 3...
Shadow, Opera, and next phase, all medium, hard, and...
Can you imagine, though, like, real talk, can you imagine if they've got this wrong and the rain doesn't come? That means that Shadow has a legit chance, or that any of the top 3 could win this race. Because Tixie and JTK will try and fight it out.
There's a lot of soft runners, and the grid will be bounced off.
Yeah, but they've got to fight. Yeah, but they've all got to fight their way through. So, and Shadow's mediums are not done by any stretch because he's had them on 9 laps, but most of those have been under safety cars, so they're still in good condition.
I actually don't know what to feel right now.
We said at the start, anything can happen in Formula 1, it usually does. So for the first time in his PowerF1 career, Shadow is going to lead a lap, even if it is technically behind the safety car. But he's officially led a lap now, so there you go. Good on him. And the thing is as well, I just want to say as well, that in terms of pace, the tyres obviously do make a difference, but we've seen other drivers struggle to get past cars that are on a harder compound. Oper has been something of a brick wall to a lot of drivers further down.
Yeah.
And he's been on the hards.
Safety car will be coming in this lap. Everyone is bunched up, so I don't think it will stay out for another lap.
It's definitely misty, but I see no indication of rain.
Yeah, it's raining, it's raining.
Where?
It's raining. I can see, if you look at the halo, it's raining.
Okay, I can see a few spits, but I'm not too sure if it's going to be enough to get inters on by the end.
I mean, we know the game and we know how weird it is.
Yes, the rain can come on quickly, but it can also come on slowly. I do wonder if they've jumped the... Have they jumped the gun? It's hard to tell.
I think the track is getting wet. Yeah, I think the track is getting wet.
Yeah, but again, we've had it where the track is wet before and the dries are still the better option. It depends if they've read it right, or will they have to go for a lap or even possibly 2 laps, suffering with the wrong compound of tyre, which could ruin everything for Tixie and JTK. They've taken a huge gamble here, and it could pay off, but it could also backfire spectacularly on them. It's only spitting at the minute.
I mean,
like, that's the lightest rain I've ever seen. It's barely on the camera.
Safety car in this lap, as I said, so this is gonna be the last chance for the soft runners or any dry runners to box if they want to go.
Okay, we're getting a few spots like actually on the lens now.
I think it's time for inters.
I don't think it is. The track is not even wet.
I think it's gonna get wet in the next.
Where is Oper going? There you go.
Shadow, the under P1, he led 2 laps now, leading his 3rd one. Let's see when he's about to start. And
I don't think he's quite ready for that. Next phase bails for the pits. And we're underway. The rain is coming down, but again, the track does not look too bad at the minute. And Tixie is dropping back. Tixie is fading. Oh, we got... Who's that on the grass? We had a Mercedes on the grass. That was James Taylor on the grass. And we've got... Who's that going off? That's Gamma, who was on the inters. It's not the right time yet. No, wait, sorry, he's on softs. Now, did he spin off or did he get...
I have no idea what's going on right now.
I'm confused.
Yeah, JTK... Oh, no. It's time for it.
No, that's Shadow. Shadow is just being cautious. Oh my god, they're all balling up. Now it's starting to get wet. Okay, yes, now we're seeing puddles. So Tixie does... So Tixie will take the lead. The question is, though, as well, how many have adapted their setup to this? Because if it gets wet as quickly as we think it's going to, and they're all in a dry setup, even if they're on the intermediate tyres, then this could cause problems real fast. We are now suddenly getting rooster tails. This has come out of nowhere. This,
I told you, rain can come down very quickly, even if we see light rain. I know you said that's going to be light. But, yeah, it's time for Inters, and the time is now. We have a big spin. And we have a lot of debris on the truck. It's gonna be a safety car.
There are no, it's too late for safety cars. Lap 29. We're past the cutoff point.
And yeah, no safety cars. So
that's Roy who lost his wing. Persegili's having to pit again. He's just had no luck today. That's pretty. Yeah. TC is a big winner as well because he's on the inters.
Yeah, same goes for James.
And Jan behind as well.
James back to P3 and he's looking.
Now TC's got to be careful here because the other driver. Oh! That's a big smash up between... Oh no, the two teammates smash into each other. TC suddenly up to P6. And Oper on the old hards doing surprisingly well, but there's not much more he can do. He's going to fight this one out, but...
TC Gaming fighting Oper. Yeah, he's going to do much. Jan will follow up behind him. And now TC...
As Gamma B retires after such a promising qualifying, he retires in the pits. He's had enough. I don't think anyone should be retiring on purpose right now because literally anything could happen in these last few laps. We've got a bunch of people still out there, a couple of people still out on dries. The ones who are on inters are going to be going gung-ho at each other.
Ooh, that's a very good race, and Gamma B leaves the session. Jan was pushing TC through the corners. But yeah, Rick just sticks out.
Rickety is still trying to survive here. He's got to survive another 3 laps on the softs. Yeah. And oh, that was a drift. We got yellows in sector 1. That's Roy, I think. Or is that Gamma B's AI trundling around? As Rickety bails for the pits, but it's too late now. He's going to lose so many positions. He should have pitted way earlier. TC moves up to 4th.
And Jan moves up to P5.
And Jan up to P5. I don't think he ever saw it. Oper is still going on those hards. Brave man that he is.
I mean, if I was him, I would just risk it at this point.
So is Duncan. Shadow. Shadow's still going on the mediums as well. They're all the newbies are taking the risk. And Duncan has paid for it a little bit.
They don't have anything else to do. That's their best choice shot on the points. Also, looking at the top 3, Dixon, JTK being fairly close, 1.1 second gap, and James being 4.6 behind the leader, and James is chasing. Oh, I should be stopped talking about James, and he had this big.
It's Jan and who's gone? Oh, poor Shadow. Try to stay on the dries. He braved it out. You gotta respect the hustle, but it's not happening.
Yeah,
Jan is close to TC here, as Oper loses out to next phase, but next phase with the penalty as well. Let's not forget. And JTK has a penalty as well, though I think he might get that removed. I don't see where he got 3 seconds, to be honest.
I think it's from the
it was like
he went wide. On the pit entry, he went off
I don't know if that's worth 3 seconds on its own, though, so whether he tries and fight that one out.
If it was his last warning, then...
well, but again, you can get the race director if he feels it's unfair. As Shadow trying to recover again. You got a feel for the lad.
Oper, he's really struggling, but
he's holding on. The Rain Master is holding on. As Jan and I don't think TC ever envisioned himself in this position in the race. Unless he maybe thought this was always going to happen and he prepared his car for this. It would explain his lack of pace early on and why he's able to actually hold the track now. The gaps are fairly well apart now, apart from Magnetic and Persegili. Persegili trying to salvage something from this race. He wants at least 1 point, if not more.
Whatever he can take.
As Oper finally loses out to Rickety. Aussie also wants to take something away from Spain here today. Oper is dropping like a stone now. He's going to be out of the points. Oh, that's cruel. But it is cruel. He did so well to hold it, but he could have pitted. He didn't. So Persegili is at least going to get 1 point at the minute.
Yeah,
but he wants more. He deserves more. He's had a torrid evening in terms of his luck.
Yeah, from what I see, James will not be able to get a point. That second place on JPK. JPK being too far out. TC Gaming got a gap on Jan, so he's sitting comfortably on that P4.
Yeah, we'll come back to the leaders in a wee minute. Also, I love how Duncan has gone back onto fresh softs. He's just here to have fun now. Duncan and Shadow having just a bit of fun, the two teammates, because why not? Although they're coming across the leaders now, and they could play a part in that as Magnetic gets 3-second time penalty. Persegili will be thankful for that, but he's going to get past him on track anyway. Now, let's actually go to the front too, because they're coming up to traffic on different compound tires, and that could play a part. There's only about a sector to go. I don't think... Oh no, they ghost anyway, so it should be okay for Tixie.
Either way, he moved out the way. Her play too
and looking at the back here, Magnetic with the 3 seconds. Aussie will go ahead of him on count back, but wants to get ahead of him on track as well, I imagine. Can Persegili get any more? Could he maybe get Roy before the end? It'd be difficult going through Sector 2. One person who hasn't found it difficult and has really controlled every aspect of this race, though, is the reigning world champion, who starts his title defense as he means to go on and wins the Spanish Grand Prix. JTK shows his qualifying pace was on point and finishes second. James Taylor, after a very eventful race, will hold on to third. TC out of nowhere will take fourth place for Williams. Well, good points there. Jan, after his up and downs, getting us into P5. Next phase, the first of our new boys to finish and gets a good solid 6-point finish. Rickety will hold on to P7. Could have been more if he played it right. Same for Roy in P8. Persegili does take something away from Spain in P9, and Aussie will get home in P10. Magnetic, with the penalty, would have finished 11th anyway. Oper did change the inters at the end, and will finish P12, whilst Duncan and Shadow, after their hard luck, will finish 13th and 14th, but at least they had fun out in the rain.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great race.
It was a very exciting race.
Yeah, the rain came out. We had no idea about the rain. We saw the clouds outside the commentary box, but we didn't believe it's going to rain until we saw some people going into the inter. So that explains why Tixie decided to go into the softs.
Let's just look at the position change real quick. So, oh, well, we didn't see it. We'll see it on the finishing screen. But, yeah, we had some big movers through the field. TC, I think, was the biggest. P16 he started at this race, and he finishes P4. Yeah, Persegili gets driver of the day, I think, because the game just felt sorry for him at this point, to be honest. Oh, well, will that man catch a break? Hopefully in the next race he will.
I'll ask if we have any interviews from the top 3.
Rickety's saying, you guys did plus 1000 IQ, didn't think it would rain that hard. Shadow saying, some fun the last few laps with a little bit of drifting. Next phase, P13 to P19 to P6. So let's see, yes, indeed. Tixie from first to first. JTK 10th to second. James Taylor holds on to third. TC 16th to fourth, as I said. Jan actually started where he finished. Next phase, up 6 places from 12th. Rickety started finished where he started. Roy unfortunately dropping down from 4th on the grid. Persegili 18th to 9th after dropping back down the order about 3 times. Is pretty impressive. Aussie loses 1 place but still gets a point. Magnetic actually improved on his grid slot, so did Oper from the back. Duncan actually finished where he started. Shadow unfortunately dropping down, just bad luck with the weather there. Gamma B, you got a feel for the man. Hullist, Rocco, Casito, Mike and Ultra all falling earlier on in the race. I'll take a quick flick through the race director instance in case anyone wants to see. You'll have to just pause the stream if you see your name and it's required.
If you want to move to the other tunnel, so we can drag in some of the drivers. James
we will do in a second.
Yeah.
So there's all your warnings and stuff. Looking at the pit stops, most drivers opt in for the ones, or were planning to go the one stop and then changing to the inters later on.
That was a very nice race. So we only have James from the people, top 3 that actually want an interview.
Yep.
So,
I know it says
I'll
Thomas
be
D on the
there.
commentary team. I didn't have time to change that, unfortunately. So, let me just exit out of this. And we'll see if anyone is waiting for interview in a second. Just bear with us, folks, as we will hop into where are we going for the interviews? We will create a voice channel we'll just do voice channel pro. Alright, so we have 4 drivers waiting in the pen. Yes, that is officially what it's called, the pen. It's not like a sheep pen, although we do sometimes give Gamma B some hay.
Let me move.
You okay, George?
Yeah, let me move to...
Right, we've got 4 drivers waiting in the pen. Are any of them the top 3? Well, James Taylor is the only one of the top 3, so we'll call him in first.
I got the ticks, don't worry.
You got what, sorry?
I got the ticks. I got the race winner. Here he is.
I mean, it's only if they want to come in. Like, you know, you don't have to force them.
I dragged him to another channel.
Okay, but why though?
Because I thought we would go to another channel.
Well, I didn't see you anywhere, so.
Yeah, it's okay. It was
Right, okay. Tixie, well done. Now, please reveal what hacks you were using to change the weather.
What do you mean?
Because, like, the foresight to change to the intermediates. Like, holy cow. I mean, I know you weren't the only one, but...
Jeff was saying it's gonna rain any moment now, so...
Yeah, but how did you know it was going to rain that heavily? Because whenever it says rain...
I didn't.
So it was a gamble on your part?
Yeah, I put all my eggs on the same basket.
Well, I mean, it paid off for you. Certainly, so...
Yeah, it did.
But aside from that, was the race as easy as you made it look, or...?
I mean, I cannot say easy. Aston Martins were really quick, and I don't know how they made that soft tire last 15 laps and still be that fast. So, but it was pretty easy to stay with them and just wait their tires to go out. And
fair enough.
do my own thing.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to think of questions to ask you, to be honest, because
yeah, it was
kind of just once you were there, you were done, you know. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's no better way to start the season.
Indeed, indeed.
I think it's my first Grand Slam ever anyway, so.
Yeah, could be.
Hello.
Who keeps on... What? Who was that?
Nah, don't worry. Small mistake.
Small mistake.
No,
yeah, but where are we next then? Silverstone is next, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should be, yeah.
Not my strongest track, so. Let's see.
Well, I was going to say, what are you
Practice
thinking
makes
of... what are you thinking of Silverstone then? A strong track for you, or...?
No, not the strongest. I mean, Spain is not my strongest either, so I don't know.
I was going to say, if that's not your strongest, then heaven forbid when we actually do get to your strongest. Because, holy cow.
You saw them last season.
Okay, stop. Okay, we know you're quick now. Okay, I'll bring Bradley next race.
No, he can stay wherever he is.
He was a reserve today. I decided not to bring him in. Maybe next week. I guess we'll find out. The great company.
Yeah, it would be nice to have some competition.
whoa, like.
No,
like,
I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I mean, Persikeli was really unlucky, and.
I mean, both James and Percy were quite unlucky with Mike.
James just had a skill issue, but.
No. Alright. Well,
I don't know what happened, but.
I will kidnap James next. So we'll see what happens to them. So anything else to add, Lars? Anything else?
Not really, no.
Yeah, so Dixie, we'll let you go drink your beer or anything you'll go drink, because if you...
I go sleep and work tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
no beer for me.
Yeah, good night
This
and great job today.
Yeah, see you next
week.
week.
Thank you very much for joining us. Yes.
Yep, good job.
Bye-bye.
And let's kidnap the Mercedes driver.
Going.
I know you were self-screening on the other channel, but now it's time for interview. So well done. You salvaged your race. It was a very unfortunate race for both you and your teammate, especially Percy Gelly. He was unlucky both on quali and the race. You weren't that unlucky. You made a good call with the Inters, and that got you the P3. So walk us through your race. What you thought? Well, how's that qualifying for you?
Yeah, qualifying was pretty good. Yeah, probably could have gone a few tenths faster, but in the race I got taken out by Mike under traction, so he just lost traction, turned into my rear wheel, and from that on I got rear wing damage for the whole race. So unfortunate.
Oh, you hit rear wing damage. Okay.
Yeah. I was sliding through all the high speed.
Yeah, we saw that you were actually having some moments or now and then, but yeah, didn't know about that. Yeah, I mean, still P3, you salvaged something for your team. Percy Gilly had a very unfortunate race, as we said. But yeah, great job from you. Great job from Percy too. And I don't think he was too happy on the VC.
No.
Yeah, I can guess. What made him? I don't know if you talked to him. What made him go into the softs and not into the inters?
He just thought it wouldn't rain that much, but
yeah, I mean, me and Lars were thinking that it wouldn't like be wet enough because it was spitting. It was very small rain, but F1 being F1, we saw that with that rain it got wet in the span of half a lap, and it was time for inters. But yeah, next week we travel to Silverstone.
Yeah, without my teammate. Without.
Oh, Percy's not joining?
He's not here now.
I think it's the second season he misses on Silverstone.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't like that, I guess.
No.
But yeah, I'll make sure to give you a good reserve. Oh no, I'm joking. So yeah, good luck on next week.
Yeah,
hope
thanks.
to see you, and I hope to see you win a race. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I thought I was the only one on it. I thought I was the only one.
I don't think you think. Don't make. You're not that clever.
Ooh.
Okay, that's enough.
No, that's just in.
Yeah. All right, James. Have a great night. I know you're gonna go sleep right now. So yeah, thank you and
see ya.
Race. Yes,
Bye.
So Lars, that's pretty much it. The rest are just chit-chatting on the channel below. Yeah, that's it from the first race, I guess. Very nice race. Had everything: spins, DNFs, safety cars, rain. I think that was deep. A lot of overtakes. I have no complaints from the first race of season 6 of PowerF1. Yeah, I'll leave you to it to finish it. Lars?
Right, so who we got next? We've got a lot more people in there now, so...
Yeah, it's more of they're just chatting.
Just chat.
Just gonna do the top 3 because if we do everyone...
Right, do we have anyone else in the top 3? We've done James.
Alright, let's do TC because...
No, that's okay. No, we'll keep the rules fair, so we'll keep the rules fair.
No, TC asked.
But, yeah, but then...
He asked.
You can't allow every single person who asks to come in.
I mean, he's 4th, and we didn't get the 3rd guy to do an interview.
Right, fair enough, we'll move him in.
Alright. Welcome.
TC, because we're missing one of the podiums, you get to come in. Because you were close enough, you got P4 at the end of the day. Congratulations.
Oh my gosh. I'm still shaky and jittery from all the adrenaline.
Understandable. I mean, you were at the back for most of the race, and then all of a sudden, boom, there you are at the front. Did you plan for that, or like, was your car set up for the wet, or what?
So this is what happened. So my car was already high on downforce already. I was like running 44-37 wings.
Mm-hmm.
And when the final safety car came out, I knew the rain was really freaking close. Since Casito didn't leave the lobby and is my teammate, he was looking at everyone else in front of me to see what they were doing, because I was either going to switch to inters or softs.
Mm-hmm.
So I just needed to see who was switching to what in front of me. So ultimately, seeing that Tigsy went to inters, I just followed suit, because he has a big brain and I have medium-sized brain.
You do not have medium-sized brain.
I mean, that was a big brain move to go to Inter, so
I just followed.
I mean, you followed the rest, but you didn't follow the same strategy. You followed the strategy that 4 drivers actually completed. Because it was only you, it was Dixie, James, and JDK that actually went into Inters on the first chance they got.
Did Jan not go to Inters on the first chance he got? Because he was
also
right
Jan,
behind me. Okay.
Yeah. So next week we have Silverstone. You think? What's your thoughts? What do you expect from yourself?
I mean, next week I expect to be training hard in my job because I have a business trip training, so I won't be attending the race next week, sadly.
Damn.
Oh.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but you know, duty calls.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. You have to do your thing. Very sad not to see you and Persigil next week, but yeah, great race today. I hope you have a great day. I think it's still early for you.
It is 3 p.m.
Yeah, so I would say I was about to say good night, but it's still.
I was going to say, darn Americans and their time zones.
Yeah, exactly. So you have a long day ahead of you. So yeah, hope you have a great time. Good luck on your business trip. And yeah, thank you for coming in.
No problem.
Yeah, you have a great day. You have a great afternoon. It's so weird saying it. But yeah, nothing to say. No interviews remaining since DC is our last one. Lars, I'm gonna leave it to you. And since you already have me as Thomas D on the stream, I'm not Thomas D. I don't want to
Now this is.
I'm very happy where I am right now, and I'm in no way taking his name. just to put it out.
No. That's okay. Yeah, no, as I say, I didn't get time to change it at all. So.
Yeah, it's alright. But yeah, that's about it from the first race of the season, PowerF1 Season 6.
Yeah, I'd say it was a very successful one.
I mean, we had everything.
We did, yeah.
Rain, DNFs, safety cars, overtakes, clean overtakes, not so clean overtakes. I mean, I don't think you can have anything else. You can ask for anything else for the race. But yeah, make sure people to tune in next week at the same time for the Silverstone Grand Prix for PowerF1. Should be a very exciting race, even if we miss a couple of drivers, but we'll make sure to fill up those places. Should be a full grid again. Yeah, I'm gonna let you do the closing.
Yeah, well, yeah. If that's all the business we have, then thank you very much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the first race of Series 6 of PowerF1. We only have one tier this year, I should say. That's why there was no Challenger tier on the Wednesday. So it's just the Pro tier. But hopefully it means we'll get a more full grid. And we'll see how this new system works. But anyway, until the next time, which is going to be Silverstone, I want to wish you all a very good evening. And stay safe, and we'll see you next week for Silverstone.